Thank you, Shashi, for the start of this conference meeting. Very good morning, everyone. Welcome to you all for this fourth Indo European conference on emerging technology and standards, which is organized on behalf of this European Project Society, which is an acronym for Second European Standardization Expert in India, which is being effectively as part of this project, which is representing the European standards organizations in India, SAN like it say, along with the European Commission, which is DG Grow to be precise as of now, and the IFTA European Free Trade Association. So I've been locally present for the last 11 years. I've been working with the Indian standardization communities and stakeholders in the areas of topics which are of mutual interest for both of us. As part of the project, we work on many sectors, but broadly, if you see from a horizontal perspective, it is digitalization, so anything comes from the digitalization perspective, we work on it. So we exchange best practices, we share what has been done in the EU, and we exchange that dialogue so that we do not reinvent the wheel, and we work together to have a harmonized standard, not only among us, but also in a global platform. So that's what this project does it. As part of project deliverables, this one conference, we do it. This is the fourth iteration. The last iteration was done before COVID. Due to COVID, we couldn't continue more regular basis, but now it's past. The pandemic is past, so we are back with this conference. As far as the topics are concerned, we picked up these topics with a lot of brainstorming and thinking that what are those common topics which are relevant for both EU and India. And that's how I figured it out, that the topic of circular economy is important. And again, circular economy becomes a very wide, big topic. So to have a focused discussion, we decided to focus on e-waste and the plastic waste as far as circular economy is concerned. And again, we picked up the smart cities because India was doing a lot while we talked about 100 smart cities mission. So we decided let's pick up this topic and focus on the digital aspect of the smart cities, energy sector, energy vertical, and transportation. Because we talk about e-mobility, we talk about intelligent transport systems. So that was the second topic we picked up for this conference. And the third topic, because while GDPR was announced in EU long back, which has been implemented already, the data privacy bill was getting debated that time, and we decided to pick it up. But of course now it's an act passed by the parliament. So the third topic is data privacy. And then when we talk about data privacy, cyber security also has a very important aspect of it. So that was data privacy and cyber security. That's how these topics were picked up. If you want to know more about my project, on the brochure, you will have all the information, but it's sasai.eu, you can visit and you can find out more information there. With that, as we said, the purpose of this platform, which is the fourth iteration, is again to create an opportunity where stakeholders from both the EU and India will come together, discuss together, debate together, and then come out with some kind of activities and action items which we will continue working for next few years. With that, let's begin the conference proceedings. First, we have a video recorded message. Of course, a lot of EU participants could not come physically to this conference, various reasons. But then, even the virtual participation was not possible due to time lag or a time difference. It's too early for them, so we have a recorded message to begin this conference planning session from Ms. May Ruth. But before we play the video, let me briefly introduce Ms. May Ruth. She's a Deputy Director General and Chief Standardization Officers at the European Commission, DG Grow. She's responsible for many areas such as green transition of industries, resilience of supply chain, availability of critical raw material, and promotion of investments. In June 2020, European Commission nominated her the first ever Chief Standardization Officer. She is also a member of Horizon Europe Research Framework Program Steering Committee and also supervises the Enterprise Europe Network and the European Cluster Work. Can we play the video, please, of Ms. May Ruth?
It is a great pleasure to open the 4th Indo European Conference on Standards and Emerging Technologies. Of course, this is an event which is building on our already well-established cooperation with India on standards, and more broadly, it is also an event that comes very timely now as we are reopening the free trade discussions with India. We are having this conference at a time which is full of turbulences, from the changing climate and related disasters and difficulties in various parts of the world, to the wars that have unfortunately returned to the European continent. We are having times where we have to be looking for ways, consciously looking for ways of keeping our trade open and also working with various other partners to find cooperation areas and to find areas where we can together address the challenges ahead of us. And if we think of these standards, often these are the types of tools which people don't necessarily even notice, but they are very much underneath our everyday conveniences. Even when we think of going to another country, using our laptop in another country, being able to use Wi-Fi, or using our new electric car to drive across the borders, of course it's essential that we will be able to use these services also when we go across the borders. And of course the international standards are underneath all these conveniences, and we take them often for granted. But it doesn't come without, of course, proper collaboration and designing these standards together. So today we have the occasion to look at where we are in this development of the standards, and we will be having a specific chapter, of course, between the EU-India trade talks, the chapter on standardization, which is always part of the technical barriers to trade discussions. We have 3 specific topics or themes that we would like to dive into today. And the 3 themes of the conference are circular economy, which includes e-waste and plastics particularly. We will look into connectivity in smart cities, digital, energy and transport issues in the cities, and we have data privacy and cyber security as a 3rd topic. On all these, I'm very happy to say that we have specific reports prepared, and we will hear more insights about these topics and look together how to develop the standards in these forward-looking important areas. And the work is building on our common asset, I would say. We have had, for a good number of years, seconded European standardization expert in India. And thanks to these efforts, we indeed have already been collaborating, and I'm sure that this helps us to have meaningful exchanges and ways forward under the new EU-India Trade and Technology Council, which was established in 2022 already, but which now, of course, will start working in more accelerated speed. And we do need accelerated speed also for international standards. For many of these new green and clean technologies, standards are still missing. Also, for the digital area, standards are not necessarily there. I wish all the participants today really a very active and engaging mode. I hope that the discussions are going to be fruitful, and I thank you for being present. I'm looking forward to the outcomes. Thank you very much.
With that opening remarks, welcome remarks by Ms. May Ruth, let me move to our next welcome remarks, for which Cooperation section and working and based out in India as part of the European delegation of the European Union to India to deliver his welcome address. But before I invite him to deliver this address, the Greek Bible is on the screen, but let me read it out. Mr. Benoist has over 30 years of experience in the development and international cooperation in Central and Eastern European, the Indian subcontinent, and North Africa. Please go back to the last slide, please. Key experience includes the implementation of health and education policies, political economy analysis, the involvement of civil society in public policies, local governance, social inclusion, as well as global partnership. If I could name a few of them, in particular the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, as well as the Global Partnership for Education, and more recently, the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, known as CDRI. Lord, please, the stage is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. On behalf of the European delegation, I welcome you all here. India is assessed to be, at least by the IMF, the fastest growing economy, with a projected growth of 6.1% in 2023 and 6.8% in 2024, driven by domestic demand, as you know, pretty strong, and government initiatives such as financial system development, forward-looking policies, infrastructure improvement. Amidst growing global partnerships, the synergy between India and the European Union emerges as a transformative force, shaping the digitalization, energy, security sectors, among others. As India's ascent to technological prominence aligns with the EU's pursuit, an opportunity for cross-continent synergy unfolds. And I don't need, I think, here to remind you about the geopolitical concerns. But let us say they are, in a sense, pretty good for India. And India has an opportunity at the moment to attract partnerships and investments as never before, partly because of the chaos in which the world is at the moment. So we're here to try to also seize those opportunities for India, for Europe, and together for the world. European Union and India are allies and are committed towards creating sustainable, safe, secure, digitally advanced economies while ensuring environmental protection, efficient use of resources, and overall leaving no one behind at the same time. To this, India and the EU have developed frameworks for clean energy, climate cooperation, connectivity, which are evolving under the roadmap 2025. The roadmap 2025 for us is within the context of the EU-India strategic partnership, which was agreed at highest level, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and at highest levels from our side in 2021. So we agreed to really engage in more strategic partnership. A little bit of a challenge here for us and for India is that this strategic partnership is very wide, and that makes it quite challenging. But that at least gives us room for focusing, and today we are going to focus on three sectors, which is where I think we can make advancements. And these three things have been reminded already. The Trade and Technology Council is definitely, time will tell us, but for many of you who've been in the standardization business, we tend to think that the TTC, the Technology and Trade Council, Trade and Technology Council, is a game changer. It is really helping both India and the EU to dialogue at highest levels and make decisions at highest levels. So probably so far, I said some of you who are insiders, you know what's happening, so you know maybe the impact it has. Some of you may not know, and you may not know because you are not informed or we're not informed because we have been active recently